go, what's my hair? You wouldn't. Maybe it. I think I'm losing my hair. Just kidding. I'm getting older by the minute. It's a real problem. So I've been up since 3 a.m. because I belong to a little person with autism. And sometimes that happens. And he woke up at 3. There's never any real rhyme or reason. You just, so Amos is my person. So my name is Adrienne. If you're new, I have 4 kids, 3 teenagers, and a 9-year-old with autism. Wakey from here. That's one of my subscribers. And good morning, Laura. And Amos takes to sleep trazodone and guanfacine at night and during the day. And the night before, he went to bed at 9, slept all night. Well, then another night, he might be up at 3. It doesn't happen nearly as much as it used to, but it happens. Well, I am 40. How old am I? 47. I'm not like in this baby mode, where people are up all night. It is really tiring, and you start looking old, And I woke up this morning thinking, I have a lot of friends, some really good friends. No friends that I really see as much as I want to see, because I don't know if that's the stage in life. I was talking to a friend this morning on the phone, and I was like, who knew that life got so busy when your kids got older? Like, I just assumed that I would have all this free time, or something. And maybe I do and just don't use it wisely, which is very likely. Been a subscriber for a month, getting a little more involved. Grateful to be here. I'm glad, Victoria. But it's hard to have time with friends if you're working. And when you're a special needs mom, your friends don't necessarily get you. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't value your friendships, but there is something to having a friend that knows what your life is like and gets it, right? Like Heather just said, yes, it makes for a very long day. Like, I don't have any friends, like typical mom friends, who are just up at 3 in the morning for no reason. Oh, you're welcome. The IEP meeting. That was good. How women have babies in their late 40s. It's bad times. I don't know how they do it either. Well, last night I had the best time. So I just subscribed yesterday. Oh, I'm so glad, Susan. Yesterday, I did a video last night with my friends Kate Swenson and Carrie Cariello. And if you don't follow them, you need to. They're on Instagram and Facebook mainly, or kind of their big platforms like me. Kate has 4 children. Her oldest, Cooper, who's 12, has autism. Carrie has 5 children. Jack is her second oldest, and he's 18 or 19. She has all teenagers, and he has autism. Cooper is nonverbal. Jack is in kind of a supportive college program where he goes to community college program and lives. And then I have this 9-year-old who is verbal, but as I say, not conversational, though he's getting to be more conversational. But if you say, Amos, how was school today? He'll say, was it fun? You don't hear like, well, so-and-so gave the teacher the finger or did, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we all are at really different parts of the spectrum, I guess. And you know what we did last night? We were going to talk about the A. I always say there's a lot of A's: autism, anxiety, aggression, ADHD, alcohol. I mean, there could be all sorts of stuff. We laughed. We laughed and laughed and laughed. How many pairs of glasses do you have? A lot, because I'm 46 and I never get out of glasses. I just keep them. So every few years I get a couple new pairs, and I've been doing that like 20 years. No, I probably have then I lose half of them. Maybe I have 1, 2, 3 pairs, 4. I also wear reading glasses, though. You know, reading glasses are a real commitment to fashion because you can just throw on reading glasses and look, ta-da. Yes, I'll put the link up, Nicole. I'll try to see if you can do it again. I love your videos with them. You know, it's really fun. It's really fun. You'll be up at all hours. I need those friends. And I think on so many levels, one, it helps me realize that I'm not alone. Two, I really learn things. Like yesterday when they were talking about anxiety, I was like, maybe Amos is still having anxiety. Maybe that's this obsession with the cruise ship or the high-speed train in Germany. I mean, this morning he was rubbing my car and saying, oh, it's a nice, cozy cruise ship. Pretending, which is wonderful because I can pretend that we're on a cruise ship all day long. But it's hard times. Love watching you interact with each other. Oh, thank you, Maureen. I'm glad you're here. But I guess I woke up thinking, you know, what if there are some parents that don't have a group, don't have a friend that they can call and talk to? And I just wanted to say, come over here. I have a subscriber group. Yes, it's $5 a month. But even if you don't want to join that, just come over and follow my page. I'm on Instagram. Follow Carrie Cariello, Kate Swenson. We all have subscriber groups. We all have, and part of our subscriber groups is that then we also have Facebook pages that go with them. So mine is called the Troller Group, which people oftentimes, because of my poor naming, think that it's like something like some evil group. But I named it the Trollers. I don't know why. But when you're in the Troller Group, you can post things, share things, ask questions, and then you have kind of a group, a built-in group of other people. I also have a group called Tales Group for Special Needs Moms, and that's even a smaller group. So trying to create some of these groups in the great big world of social media where people really feel like they have a place to go and you can ask a question. So anyway, I think it's awesome. My 17-year-old autistic granddaughter has debilitating anxiety. Anxiety is really an amazing thing considering, and I think Carrie, Kate, and I all said the same thing. None of us knew. Anxiety never came on my radar. I mean, I thought autism, but anxiety is really the bear to deal with. Like, I don't think you'll hear anybody say, you know what, I love anxiety. I mean, that's like saying, I love serial killers. Like, anxiety is terrible. Can't wait to meet you in April. So yes, so my friend Kate Swenson of Finding Cooper's Voice is having a special needs moms retreat. She's done it a few years now, and I am going. Can grandmoms join the group? Yes, of course they can, Kate. And so can granddads or grand cousins or grand aunts, or I'm just a friend. Perhaps the three of you can get your husbands to chat together. Holy cow. That would be really hysterical. I mean, I would be like afraid what they might say. Anyway, I'll be in Minnesota. Really excited about that. I love nothing more than getting together. I did another retreat in North Carolina a few years ago up at Montreat. And a lot of times when you're the speaker somewhere, you're just kind of, you know, you're there as the speaker. Well, the special needs mom group, I was like, well, I mean, this is like the best thing that I've ever done. It was so fun to be with people and know that they knew what I was talking about. You know, like I got up at 3 a.m. They're like, of course you did, because, you know, that's what life is like. You got up. I always say my son is high anxiety with a little autism and ADHD thrown in. Well, that's probably a good way to say it. The no sleeping thing, I mean, will kill you. Denise is going to help me with my hair. Enough protein. Protein. What did I have yesterday? Well, this is not my fault. But yesterday I worked at concessions at basketball. Hey, Robin. I met you at the retreat at Montreat. Wasn't it so fun? Yesterday I worked concessions because first and foremost, stop it. The damn cat is trying to tear up my furniture. I'm going to kill you. I can't even see the cat. I'm now a new subscriber. Yay, your daughter signed you up. Where is this freaking cat? This is what happens around here. This is the Lego room. Anyway, I don't know where the cat is. Did he stay up or go to nap before school? No, he no nap. No, he just got up at 3. You naughty thing. And what was I saying? I can't remember. Turn it. Hold on. Let me get back to myself. Please come do a retreat at my inn, said Martha. Not a subscriber, but love your content. Well, come on over. Oh, you've learned so much and you don't belong to anybody with autism. Well, I'm so glad. Wish you would come to Ohio. That's my old stomping grounds. No, I don't use spray. I use tape. It's called Sophistitape, I think. You want to see it? This stuff works pretty well, but the cat was underneath that thing. See it? I wish somebody would give me like some sort of sponsorship deal with this Sophistitape. How can I use these groups, said Lisa. I'm going to try to find you. Well, I put my link in so you can join my subscriber group, or Kate and Carrie's. I think we all have kind of something different to offer. And I hope you will. I do a video every day for subscribers. And if you can't watch it when it's live, you can watch it later. You just never know. My daughter also has high anxiety. I have a cold. The subscriber group. So the subscriber group is a Lego vacuum. The subscriber group is super fun. A week from Monday, this is a true story, I have 100 followers going with me on a cruise to the Bahamas. Legit. We're leaving out of Miami on some Royal Caribbean, something of the seas. They're always some of the seas. And we're going to Nassau, Coco Key, a day at sea, and then back to Miami. I mean, can you imagine what that's going to be like? And I bought the alcohol package, which is very expensive, I might add, because I got nervous. You know, nothing I hate more than getting a bill at the end of something. Like even my credit card, I'll pay extra because I can't stand to get a bill. It's a real problem. Kate's on a waiting list. Kate, I wish we could stick you into our suitcases. When are you going to build the Lego Titanic? I would cut off my pinky toe before I built the Lego Titanic. Now, if somebody sent me a free one, I might build it. But no pressure, because that thing has like 8,000 pieces. I'd love to do a cruise, but how in the heck do you manage to leave a high-needs 10-year-old? Well, I have a high-needs 9-year-old, and I'll tell you how I'm doing it. I'm just get leaving in the night. No, I'm not. We have a caregiver. She is going to be, my husband obviously works. He's a lawyer. He's very busy, works very hard. And he'll be at school, so that will be particularly helpful. My daughter is going with me, which is going to be a little bit tricky because she usually helps. I know. I mean, now I've gotten paranoid because people always say I rub my nose, and now I've started rubbing my nose. The Lego Titanic is expensive. Heck yeah, it's expensive. It's like the real Titanic. Amos does love the Titanic. He's been saying the Titanic is in the Albemarle Sound. It's sunk. It's sunk. Anyway, we have our caregiver. She will really be in charge of him mainly. And at night when my husband gets home, she usually will make his lunch for the next day. She kind of does everything. And then he'll get Amos to bed for the most part. We try to stick on a regular schedule. Jamie, I put the link up in the kind of beginning of this video so you can subscribe. How's your eye? Oh, they're all worried I got something icky on my eye. It's fine. So I think he'll be good. But yeah, we couldn't do it without our caregiver. No, she will not spend the night. She will go home. Yes, I'm taking my 13-year-old daughter. And it's funny, my husband, who is like, he redefines the phrase laid back. So my husband, that darn cat, tiptoe, I'm going to hurt you. He says, Blair's going on the cruise? I was like, yeah. Doesn't she have school? In 17 years of him being a father, he has never in his life asked about somebody missing school. I mean, this person, he doesn't care. I mean, he just basically leaves it to me to be in charge. So suddenly he's getting all pious over her missing school. And I was like, she's just going to miss it. I mean, our children legit miss like 26 days a year, all of them. Well, not now in high school, you know, they're not into that. But when they were little, I mean, we would go to Florida like 2 weeks a month when they were in school. And I would be like, goodbye, we're leaving. I mean, anyway. What if he gets up at 3 a.m. with Daddy? That'll be so bad. No, he's not worried about her seeing too much Elizabeth. He's worried about her being gone because she helps him. In the morning, she gets Amos. She'll make him get up. She gets him to get his clothes on, get dressed. Well, we sleep, you know, I've told y'all before, Amos sleeps in his clothes for the next day. I mean, he takes a shower and puts on new clothes. Well, he's not used to doing it all by himself. It's going to be fantastic. Fantastic. So that's how I'm leaving. But I couldn't leave without my caregiver. Because if you don't have somebody lined up, when I used to travel, I would have help. But like, what if somebody got sick and I was out of town? Well, his job is not flexible. So we had to have somebody really that we could count on. Not just for cruises, but for other work events. The other thing that is very big coming up is, and you know what the great thing is that Daddy and Amos really have a good time together. So we went to, where'd we go this summer? Italy? No, we were gone for 3 weeks in August. My parents and I and my big three went on a trip. We were gone legit 3 weeks. And we had our caregiver, Nanny, and Daddy. And since then, he has like loved Daddy. Every night when he goes to bed, he says, good night, Daddy. Good night, sweet prince. So anyway, and it's partially why I wanted to take Blair on this trip, is because it's so rare that we get to go do something and not take Amos, that I wanted to enjoy her a little bit. Now, I have told her I am working. I am going to be talking to people. This is a work trip for me. But obviously, we can eat meals together and go on a water slide or, you know, have a good time. So anyway, so that'll be fun. But this weekend is also exciting. Not as exciting as a cruise, but I am doing something really neat. 2 Marys, yes. So Mary Cole is our caregiver / nanny, and Mary Scott is my friend that's going on the cruise. No, Daddy has kept Amos many a times. Particularly, we've gone on trips with my parents, and Thomas can't miss work. Though I think the next time we go on a trip, we're going to try to all go. If we can survive. I can't fight him in the morning, get him dressed. Get dressed for school before you go to bed. Yes, Brittany. I mean, I remember this teacher, Miss Mason, and she did it. She had twins, and hearing about her doing that was like, it's kind of smart. And then when Amos showed up, I was like, okie dokie. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we really don't wear pajamas very much except on the weekends. Yes, Barb got to meet Thomas. So last spring, this is kind of all subscriber activities. I had a subscriber weekend. And I think we had about 160 subscribers come to Edenton, hotels, Airbnbs, and we had really a weekend from Friday to Sunday we had dinner at my house that Saturday night. We had some parties. It was a garden tour weekend. It was really fun. And it was nice for my family. My son Russell was here, Blair. Amos was not here. I sent Amos to the beach with our nanny because it was going to just be too overwhelming for him. And my husband really enjoyed it. I mean, he got to enjoy getting to meet people's brought their husbands. It was really fun. Took your advice and did close after bath last night too. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, that morning, getting anything less you can do in the morning, I wish you could eat breakfast at night. I mean, it's a problem. 3 brilliant ladies. You know, I don't know if we're brilliant, but I think we're 3 women who have been on this journey for a little while. We've all decided to write and share, and we enjoy each other. And I think we found that talking about the hard stuff and laughing like makes it not a heavy weight. And I think that's why we all do what we do. Anybody that's out there on the internet putting themselves out there and, you know, doing this for their lifestyle it's hard. It's really hard, you know. It's hard to be that vulnerable. I mean, you want to think about being butt naked. I mean, it makes it so I can like wear my pajamas to the coffee shop because basically I feel naked all the time with what I share on Facebook. Without you overnight with Amos by himself. No, I have left and been overnight before. Yes, quite a bit. I mean, not that often, not since August, but my 2 older boys are at boarding school, so I have to take them or get them. I'll spend the night away, or if I'm gone for work or whatever. Yeah, so I was on Carrie Curiel's page yesterday, and she had a dad who has 2 boys with autism from England, and he came on. I want to subscribe, but I can't figure out how. Well, can't you just click on the darn link? Is it that hard? Somebody put up the link for us. Spurky, you can do it. Oh, Spurky's fun. Love both of the events yesterday. The ladies were fun. Yeah, that dad, holy cow. So the dad, they have 2 children with autism, and he and his wife are divorced, and one lives with one and one lives with the other, but every couple days they switch because the boys really struggle to be together. It was very interesting, and boy, it sounded tough. Oh, yeah. I mean, life ain't easy, people. So you didn't get to say anything. So people were real worried yesterday with Carrie that I was not saying anything. And I'll tell you what, I was really happy to listen, and I talked a little bit, but I think listening is something that when I'm obviously on here, I'm not listening. I really like listening, and I like to learn. And here was a man I had never seen, never followed, and I was really happy to listen to him. I don't get a lot of opportunities to talk to dads of children with autism other than the person I live with. And it was nice to listen. It was nice to listen. Poor Carrie was like, I didn't let you talk. I was like, yes, you did. I mean, I know Carrie and Kate and I are good friends in real life. And, well, Carrie is going on my cruise, and we've never met in person, but she's going on the cruise in a week. So that's kind of fun. Oh, but the other big thing I have, which is, now this is brand new, hot off the presses. This is something I have never done before. So this is 17 years in the making. I'm having a staycation this weekend. Do you know what a staycation is? Well, I'm going to tell you. Well, so tomorrow is Friday. Friday morning, I'm going to tell my 2 children that live at home still goodbye. And I'm not going to see them anymore until Monday. I love them, and I'll be excited to see them on Monday. But I will be here alone. My husband is going on a hunting trip that he does every MLK Day. So normally what happens on MLK Day is that I am home with the children, and he's hunting. And then I'm trying to figure out what the devil to do with these fools. Well, my big kids are going on a ski trip with church, which is going to be fun. So my boys are taking the train from Washington, D.C. or Alexandria to Charlottesville. A very nice, kind, dear friend is picking them up at the train station, headed to Wintergreen. My daughter is riding with another friend who is chaperoning the ski trip. So you know that since I'm not going next year, I'm going to have to suffer through the ski trip, which is fine. I'll do my time. And so they'll all 3 be together, which is really fun. And before I thought, well, I'll go and take Amos up there. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I didn't take my Zoloft for a couple of days just because it was in a suitcase and I hadn't unpacked it. Well, nothing like no Zoloft to make you start getting yourself nervous. I was like, I'm going to die. I'm exhausted. I can't go. Like I really wanted to spend time with those children. But I was like, I can't do it. And they're going to be busy with friends and blah, blah, blah. But that's the problem. I think a lot of times, particularly women, or at least it's me, is that when my husband will be like, I'll take the kids, especially when they were little, I'll take them to the trampoline park. I would really struggle not to go because I didn't want to miss something fun. So I had this mom FOMO, which is a problem because if you have FOMO, you're never going to have alone time. So I convinced myself not to go, and I'm going to be home alone all weekend. Just took me 10 minutes to say. Friday to Monday, alone. And do you know what I have on my schedule? Nothing. A friend of mine was like, do you want to go shopping one day? I was like, I can't commit because I don't know what I'm going to want to do. Yes, like Cymbalta. Or I thought I should have a party. I could have a bunch of moms over here for a party. No, I can't have a party. Then I would have to do something. Amos is going to the beach with Mary, our caregiver. Yeah, they're going to go to the beach for a couple nights and just enjoy doing some fun beach stuff. Go to the aquarium, go to I don't know, do fun beach things. There's lots of playgrounds. I staycation a lot. I get enough groceries for a few days. Well, I was thinking today I needed to go to the Walmart to get groceries. So my friend Mary Scott has just texted me and said, let's sign up to swim with the pigs. I don't want to swim with a pig. I don't have a desire to even meet a pig, much less swim with one. Your husband hunts a lot. You know, this is a group he goes with every year. And I'll tell you, in all seriousness, when my kids were little, my first 3 kids were little, they were really close together. And then Amos was 4 years later. I remember he was going to do fun things. And I was home with like a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And I was like, you're going out of town. You know, just bitching. And he was like, why don't you go? And I was like, why don't I go? Well, he pointed out that all I needed to do was make plans to go. So I started going. I don't go very often. Like, I haven't been anywhere with friends in a few years. But you would be afraid of sleeping through the weekend. I know. But I mean, I go now, and I'm thankful that he goes. One, I'm excited to be home alone, and two, he works really hard. He works in a little town about 30 minutes from where we live. He doesn't get a chance to go out to lunch with friends. I mean, he works. He's a criminal attorney. He drives around to different courtrooms every day. I mean, he's busy. And I'm thrilled for him to get to connect with college friends. And if anything, I need to follow his example more. So it's less about hunting and more about the social stuff. And in 2 years, we're going to be down to one child at home, is my expectation. And he and I and Amos, and we have to learn to manage this life with a little person with special needs. And how do we do that? How do we have our independence? How do we encourage Amos's independence? How do we manage doing things together? It's tricky. It's tricky. Like, everybody talks about, oh, the empty nest. I'm never really going to have an empty nest, which I said a minute last night to Carrie and Kate, and they get it. Because even though Carrie's son, who's Jack, is away at a college program, she's still texting with him, every day over little tiny minutia things. There's still this umbilical cord. And that maybe you have with all your kids. But I can tell you, like, my middle son and I haven't talked since Saturday. Today's Thursday. Now, my older son called on Tuesday. Part of the problem is they have study hall from 8 to 10, and I'm usually in the bed at 10, but I stay up to talk to them. But, he doesn't need me in that daily way. Already at 15, doesn't need me. You need a date night with you and your husband. And we do that, which is nice. We go and go to dinner. When the kids were little, we went almost every week. I don't know how we had any money. Honor, quiet. I don't know how we had any money. But yeah, I mean, I think we went away for our 20th anniversary. Is this your first group with subscribers? Yes. Honor. Come here. Just watch the 3 of you from last night. Yeah, so anyway, so this weekend is not a friend weekend, but it is a Adrian weekend. Do you know what I really wish I had was a blow-up hot tub to put right in this darn living room and sit in the thing? Like, you and your husband need to rediscover each other. Ew, it sounds a little bit like OnlyFans-ish. Debbie, we are down to one at home who is 42, total care. Went away for the beach time. Went away for a week to the beach for the first time last year. I felt lost. Did your in-laws go on that trip? My in-laws did happen to crash my last trip with my husband for a night. But you know what? It's real life. Yeah, so last night when I was talking to Kate and Carrie about anxiety, Honor, the darn service dog, got up in my face, in my lap, because so one of her disability tasks is she anchors to anxiety. So she anchors to my own anxiety, and she anchors to, if Amos is anxious, she tells me. Well, Amos wasn't around anywhere last night. He was already asleep, but she was like in my face because we were talking about some big things, and it's hard to talk about these big things. That was a great live last night. I've needed your videos last few days. Really struggling with, 1:30 a.m. in Australia. Yeah, an inflatable hot tub in front of the television until the thing like burst and like the ceiling fell through. But wouldn't it be great? The fire, the TV, and the hot tub. Maybe I'll get just a pool, but how could I get the water hot? I feel like a lot of my friends and relatives have no empty nest. These adult kids won't leave. Well, never say never, but I ain't planning on having all these fools live with me. I can tell you that right now. I don't think they want to. I clearly make it so people don't want to stay home. Seriously, you may need to lock the door on Sunday afternoon. Well, now I am going to go see Angela's house. Angela lives here, and I want to see her house. It's true that my in-laws, it's a sickness. They love to come and visit me. No, that's fine. You know, part of the problem, I don't mind a drop-in. Hold on. I don't mind a drop-in. I don't do well with a drop-in at like 5:30 at night when Amos has just thrown a shoe at my head. You know? Put one in the yard. My children asked for a hot tub for Christmas. They didn't get one. What would really be great is to have one right here on my screened-in porch. But that's a real commitment to looking at that hot tub. And the other thing is, I think I might get in it all the time. Like right now, I'd be like, well, I might as well get in the hot tub. And y'all don't even like me to get in the bathtub, much less a hot tub. We had one growing up, and I will say, we got in it every day. Every day. My 26-year-old son will always live with us. So Kelly, this is a hard conversation that I think would be better had on the subscriber page, because there's some conversations that are good with smaller people, smaller groups. But this discussion, and I have a friend, not those friends I was talking about, but a childhood friend who has a child with pretty severe autism. And she talks about, my husband got the tree off the porch. He's put it by the street. He was bragging about something. I was like, I would like to see you brag about getting that tree off the darn porch and putting it in the street. So he did. Your son, our children cannot always live with us because we're not always going to be here for them to live with. And that, I have trouble with that statement. And I know that's obviously a very difficult, hard conversation to have. But I think we've got to talk about it. You know? We really need to talk about it because we can't count on ourselves to be here. So I don't want that to be my plan for Amos, that he's always going to live with me, because I'm going to die at some point, you know? And what if something happened to me? Like, I don't ever want him to think that he's dependent on me for his life. So I think that's a really good conversation, I think, to have, you know? I have a designation in planning for special needs. Oh, that would be good. Anyway, it's just an important conversation. Brittany's comment. Brittany really likes the ASS word, as do I. Anyway, I think I would like it. What I say to my children is, I want Amos to be your brother. I don't want him to be a burden for them. I want them to love him and spend time with him just like you would with any sibling, you know? But I want it to make it easier on them. And I guess the way to make it easier on them is to have a plan for Amos that is, and it doesn't mean that they won't look after him when I'm gone or, you know, check in on him, all those types of things. But I just want more, you know, like he'll have Medicaid for his health insurance, which is really great once he gets the waiver. So every state has the waiver for unmet needs, and we are on the waiting list for that. But while you're on the waiting list, that helps pay our caregiver. We get developmental therapy and respite every month. So where we live, Trillium is our service provider, and they're great. My friend had a disabled son, and he was with her always until she's not there. My daughter is 39, and she will live with me for the rest of her life. My husband passed away. So, Barbara, but what happens if something happens to you? I guess that I'm just giving my heart. That's the part that I'm trying to figure out. And I feel like I want to have that figured out while I'm still here, because I don't want it to be a shock on Amos's system. I don't want it to be a shock on my other children's system. I want Amos to know, like, I don't need to live with mom. Like, he likes to do fun things and do things without me. Center for Independent Living, many group homes. You know, one thing I've gotten to do this year, that's what I'll do this morning with my subscribers. So subscribers, at 10 o'clock, let's plan, we're going to do a field trip to the Habitat store. And you can meet some of my friends who have autism, and they live at a group home in Edenton, and they work at the Habitat store 2 mornings a week. They volunteer there. And it's really been great for me to talk to them about how do you like living there? And they really like it. And their caregiver, Jennifer, and I have gotten to know each other. And so sometimes the scariest things aren't so scary once you get to know them, you know? Anyway, Bobby, her sister is taking after him. God's sister wants it that way too. Don't want strangers. Well, that's wonderful that you figured that out, Bobby. That's wonderful. I think for us, though, we want to have Amos be independent. And partly why I'm working and doing is I want to make sure there's plenty of not just services, but money for him, you know, because money helps. It does help. Fathering autism. You know, I don't follow him. I need to. Worry who's going to take care of him like I do. Yeah, it's true, Megan. It's really hard to... Exactly, Sherry. It's really hard to go down that hill. You know, it's so scary. The future, I think, is what propelled me to start writing and sharing, because I just felt like I was suffocating in fear. You know? Suffocating in fear of the future. It is a feeling that it's like one of those nightmares that, you know, you're in a nightmare and you think you're yourself like this is a nightmare, but it's not. And it goes on and on and on. And then you wake up and you just feel so burdened with the heaviness of it, you know? That's what this feels like. And the only thing I can do to handle it is to just tackle it head on. If I put it away and shove it aside and pretend it doesn't happen, it's going to drown me. It will drown me. And that happened to me. That happened to me when I lost my only sibling, Adam, to cancer. The dog is drinking water. She feels like that's me. Delete him. When I lost Adam, I thought, well, I'll never have joy again. That part of my life is over. You know, I had a happy life. I had 3 children, my husband, damn it, I was president of the PTA, had a PhD, but I wasn't really joyful. And then Amos showed up and I got scared, and I realized a really important thing. I didn't have any more room to bury heartache. I didn't have any more room to be Big Tanda. Oh, hello, everything's fine. Yes, everything looks wonderful. We're so good. I live on the water, and I have a dog, and I have 4 children, and I have, you know, art, and I have blankets all over my couches. You know, I knew I couldn't be that person. I just couldn't. So I had to start sharing, and sharing to save myself really brought joy back again. Joy that I had no idea could be mine, all from talking about it. So I know now, even when it's hard, I'm like, you got to do it. You got to talk about it. You got to think about it. You've got to push through it. You've got to laugh. You've got to have friends that understand, because I don't want it to weigh me down. And honestly, doggone it, there ain't nothing you can do about it anyway. You know, life keeps moving whether we want it to or not. And I'm not going to waste my whole time worrying and over angsting on things, whether it's my 17-year-old getting into the college he wants to, or what I'm going to do with Amos. Because you can plan, but you can't you can plan, but you can't insist. Life happens. You're minding your own business and a plane crashes, or there's a car wreck, or, you know, like shit happens. So you better just hold on, giddy up for the ride, you know? So anyway, my subscriber group, I think, is a great place to do that. And my blog page, I hope, even these regular videos, which I do big videos because I don't ever want people to feel lonely like I did, or be by themselves, or but if you need a group, my subscriber group is a better place. And it's a place to ask questions. We have more of a conversation than me just espousing things at you, which is nice. So that's it. So I'm going to go call back my husband, because that always worries me when he calls me in the middle of the day. And subscribers, I will see you at 10-ish at the Habitat store. We'll do a little shopping excursion. The Habitat store is one of my favorite stores. And if you wonder why, it's because some of my best things have come from the Habitat store. Hold on, I'll show you. You joined. Yay! Where is your blog? You're on it. I need to get on YouTube or something, but I can't possibly figure out how to do that because I'm lazy. La la! Look. I'm going to do that thing where it looks like I'm holding it in my hand. Hold on. Look. Ooh. My $30 light fixture from the Habitat store. Now, granted, I did have to spend $200 to get it looking good, but doesn't it look so good? I'm going to stop telling y'all about the Habitat store because y'all are going to get all the good crap. It's mine. I should have been there at 9. These were from the Habitat store, 2 for $12. I mean, look at those. Don't they look good? The light is a wee bit bright. Hold on, let me see if I can turn them on. Oh, wait. Well, shoot. I don't know how to turn them on. Well, anyway, they look good. Aren't they? $6 each. I mean, I'll be darned. Carry on, people. Glad you're here. Looking forward to the weekend. Adrian's going to have all sorts of exciting activities here on her staycation. She might do some jazzercise. Who knows? Hot tubbing.